Hey everybody, it's Ryan Saplin here, fat loss strength coach, coming to you today with a video about hip pain exercises and hip pain stretches. If you suffer from hip pain or have some hip issues, one of the reasons that will help you understand your pain or help reduce the pain is simply understand what causes it. And a lot of the problems that causes hip pain is excessive sitting and excessive poor movement that sitting leads to. So excessive doing lots of squats, lots of deadlifts, sort of hip flexion type movements when you're flexing at the hip multiple times for repetitions without proper core activation and basically excessive use of that hip musculature. So one thing that's very simple that you can do that requires no equipment is simply to help improve the upper thigh bone rotate better. This is the femur bone right here. And one thing that we want to do when we're trying to improve our hip flexor is allow this femur bone to rotate like this. And it can rotate here or it can rotate up here. It depends if you're squatting. So if you're squatting, if you can imagine I'm squatting on one leg, if I squat, my knees want to come out somewhat. Basically, you have this knee tracking outwards. That's what you want. But a lot of the time, because of tight adductors and tight piriformis muscles, and basically all the musculature that's involved with the hip causes this knee to get clamped down. So understand it's one of the reasons what causes hip pain. But one thing that we can do to help minimize it and help reduce the pain or help give you some relief is simply to do this stretch right here. What you're going to do is bring the knee to your chest and then you'll rotate it out like this. It's very simple. Now, some pointers here to make sure that you do this correctly and you don't give yourself problems is making sure that when you do this, you have a tall upright back like so. And then you focus on keeping a curve in your back and you focus on sort of leaning forward or maybe just shifting your butt back more so than leaning forward, because when people lean forward they end up rounding at the upper back or lower back. And then that way you can stretch the glute piriformis area and also you get some of the musculature on the inside of the leg. And then what you can do also is you can also pull this knee towards your opposite shoulder. So it's my left knee going to my right shoulder. And I'll pull this in to stretch this out. Doing this will make it so that your hip or your leg, upper thigh bone, has more room to rotate out when you're bending it. One of the things that causes issues is simply too much excessive. Just to understand, when people are squatting, they'll squat down, and when they don't have proper hip rotation, they end up having to sort of dump at the spine like this, causing excessive flexion. And that's essentially the hip flexor, there's being stress placed on the hip flexor. See, when the hip is able to rotate out, what happens is as you go down, instead of doing this, you have room to keep the spine in neutral and squat down. Or in this case, just any particular movements from just like what I just did now, sitting down and standing up. So I hope that helps you out. Remember, you want to focus on stretching that piriformis, do both sides, 30 to 60 seconds. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. And you can also email me at ryan@ryansaplin.com, and I'll be able to answer any questions you might have. I hope that I'm able to help you out, get you to your goals. If you want to get a free stretching program, some strategies to kind of help you improve hip pain, I will have a link in the description. Check the link in the description if you are on mobile, or I'll put a link up here or over here for you to click on. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys all on the next video.